Welcome back to Worldwide FC, your home for the biggest football stories across the continent. Orlando Pirates have kicked off their CAF Champions League campaign in style. The Soweto Giants dominated against Lesotho's Lioli FC, securing a convincing 3-0 victory. Tsegofatso Mabaso was the star of the day, grabbing a brilliant brace, and just when Lioli thought they could regroup, Apolis sealed the deal with the third goal. The Lesotho side looked out of their depth, unable to match the Buccaneers' quality and tempo. Coach Thabo Sinong praised Pirates' experience, pointing out how their defensive structure left Lioli with no real chance of breaking through. Meanwhile, Jabu Mahlangu highlighted the sharp in-game management by Pirates coach. He said the substitutions were spot on, keeping the team fresh and dangerous right until the final whistle. A perfect start for the Buccaneers. 3 goals, 3 points, and a clean sheet. The road ahead in the CAF Champions League won't be easy, but if tonight was anything to go by, Orlando Pirates mean serious business. That's it from Worldwide FC. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more African football updates. Now, let's roll to the full post-match analysis featuring Jabu Mahlangu and Coach Thabo Sinong.
So a very resolute William Huni, a man that makes you understand why he's the goalkeeper of the season out in Lesotho for the previous season. But come second half, everything just became undone for this Lesotho side. Let's talk to, from your vantage point, your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, no, of course, it is always essential to make sure that there's a balance between defending very well and also attacking very well to complement and create chances for yourself. So what happened with Lioli is that the goalkeeper was so excellent together with the back four and the double pivot 2 midfielders. However, it is that attacking play that let them down. And we spoke about the experience of Orlando Pirates that came in handy second half, especially after our substitutes. So with the kind of experience and the quality, the kind of quality they have, so good tactical adjustment from the coach, bringing Mufokeng inside to unlock Lioli in the midfield. So that I thought Jabu, make a difference because Jabu, you've played this tournament at this level here, Kev, and you've also played in attacking creative positions. I'm sure you would have seen that it helps to unlock defenders that are disciplined.
Yeah, I think the substitutions of Orlando Pirates today was spot on. Jongoba Usho. They put Muremi, they took him to where Mufokeng started the game first on the left, and then they took Mufokeng. Yeah, and then Relay took that role, and we saw the assist of Relay. The Skulumano coach, Vincent Relay, is not like himself, no, but he's not a player that you can take him out because 1 minute, he's a game changer.
And as you can see, the Orlando Pirates players just walking past, just celebrating with their fans out here at the Free State Stadium. A quick one from you, Coach, because Maseko said they were looking to keep it nice and compact here this afternoon against an Orlando Pirates side. We didn't quite see a lot from the players we were expecting to see a lot of. You look at your Kwetela, not quite where you would have wanted him to be. A Marabe who came into this goal on the back of a brace and the opener, not just quite getting that attacking prowess we were looking for, but other than that, the fact that they don't have Nkoto available for them in this CAF Champions League, quite concerning for Mqeqeshi, especially if he's looking to go forward and attack.
Hence, we said earlier that our football actions were excellent, but you have to maintain the good football actions, Jabu, for longer periods. So now, later, second half, you could see that maybe they were losing legs because of fatigue, or maybe, and they were starting to open up and giving you Orlando Pirates spaces in dangerous areas like half spaces. So you do not give a team of Orlando Pirates caliber with their quality players spaces in the zone 14, which is the area around the box. And this is the reason about Mufokeng. That's where they find space to create. But you are right, not having Maswabi Nkoto with all the experience, Udlale Libya, Udlale Georgia, Udlale Real Kings South Africa. So not having him because he's not registered, obviously it sort of created an Achilles heel for Lioli because Maswabi is an experienced striker. He can hold the ball so well. to link up play, to link up our attackers. That was the biggest challenge.
And just to add V quickly, what I also saw when I profiled this team, but age group yabo is 30s, most of the team. So there was no way that second half they were going to cope with the speed. Orlando Pirates, Sabo Police, Nabumfuke.
Indeed. Let's take you through some of those major talking points coming through Mdlalwa Namhlanje, particularly in the first half where we saw it going into the halftime break still goalless. But early on in the first half, in the 15th minute, we saw Udion Hotto trying to make that cross to Mufokeng, and this is why we speak about William Huni. He was a man that was on point, particularly in that first 45 minutes, denying that cross for Orlando Pirates here.
Yeah, it's Orlando Pirates game model and game plan whereby they prefer to overload our fullbacks because they know Guti, then it creates numerical superiority. And you could see Guti now, the Duodi and right back and left back, they were struggling to always deal with two people. So when you are numerically inferior, you'll always have problems, and that's why a lot of crosses were coming. And William Horney, the Duodi goalkeeper, had to work so hard. So, but eventually, it gives Pirates more corner kicks, it gives Pirates more confidence, and eventually, they end up losing concentration, and hence they ended up conceding goals later in the second half.
Shafo, we spoke about the first half and some of the things that were lacking in terms of the approach to Orlando Pirates. So much so that we saw the likes of your Lebitso and your Dion Hotto having to push up quite a bit up front. And we saw Lebitso here getting on a good opportunity, but once again, Willem coming to the rescue.
Yeah, the only option, V, because of the compactness of Diodi in the first half, they had to use the flanks, Uhoto and Libis. And then look at the pass from Master Chef, like a beautiful pass, which I thought, yeah, it was a good chance to take, but I thought the better option was to play, to roll it to Umabasa and just tap in. So it was a bad decision there, but it was a great move for the Orlando Pirates and Umbule to unlock and play that defense, that behind ball to the defenders. But that was the only option they had second half until they knew Uguti bazokhathala laba second half. And that's when they're going to get Ama spaces. That's why they were not panicking that much, Orlando Pirates, because when you play teams like this, with all due respect, they don't have that experience and the quality that Pirates have. So eventually they were going to break second half.
And eventually, that is what set the two teams apart. When you look at what happened here this afternoon, Orlando Pirates just having a lot more game time in terms of the MTN 8, the league. And you look at a Diodi side that has only played one league game this season because they've just started their season. But we speak of Diodi. There's a player that we spoke about in the build-up, and you said this is a player that can change the game for this side. And Mohapi gets a good opportunity in front of goal, but there was just something always lacking in terms of opportunities with Diodi Namhlanje.
Yeah, their intentions to play on fast transitions was visible, but then it is the final ball that created problems, or even the composure and the confidence in the final third. So hence we said earlier that it is essential to find a balance between attacking very well and defending very well, which is what the Diodi lacked today. They defended so well first half, but they didn't create enough chances. They were not composed in the final third. And that will always affect the confidence of the defenders. That's the biggest problem we see with what happened today in this match.
But coach, let me shilo. Coach needs to see Uguti add some young players, especially in the attack in their last third attacking area. Because kunama situation, coaches Wabonile, it was almost 3v3 against Pirates. But because they are over 32, 33, they can't in-house. But if they had few youngsters in their attacking area who can run, who are quick, then I think they were going to maybe get a goal or try to head the Orlando Pirates.
Indeed, and we saw the final chance coming in the first half for this Orlando Pirates side. It's a man we've spoken a bit about today, the Master Chef getting an opportunity ahead of here. But it's also just Dion Hotto getting into those positions to make those crosses.
Yeah, no, it's Pirates' plan to make sure that when they bring crosses, they need numbers. Look at Sipombule. He got a chance, almost caught a header. Not the strongest connection, but what was good was his positioning to add numbers in the box so that Uchikofato Mabasa is not isolated. So, which is what Pirates had a challenge is. They were bringing crosses, but they did not have numbers. And that's why Usipombule had to be taken out, because he's a natural 8,
Yeah.
so he didn't maybe join Umabasa enough, and then Umabasa had to deal with 2 centre backs. But then you later noticed Guti, when they brought in Mufokeng closer to Mabasa started to have more space around centre backs, and then Mabasa ended up getting that excellent brace that he scored.
And we speak about Amabasa getting a brace, and perhaps now we can touch on Coach Abdeslam Owadu. One has to commend him for the substitutions that he makes, because we saw substitutions coming off the bench to win the MTN 8 final for Orlando Pirates. Today, we see them coming off the bench once again for Orlando Pirates and making a difference. Let's speak to the changes he made, because as soon as we saw the likes of Mbule coming off, as well as a Talent Mbata, making a way for a Cameron Danson as well as a Tebang Moremi. Let's speak to those initial changes by
I think also the timing, the coach saw that first half he needed to make those changes because they were lacking the creativity. They were lacking. These are the Utensin and Muremi. These players, they make an instant impact. I mean, we saw Umuremi, putting those crosses, and Umabasa now running into those areas. Timing was right. Perfect of the timing of the pass was correct. I think Pirates, they got it right now with these first 2 substitute. Of course, the other guys who came in also, Abo Cabello, he was also part of the
substitutions.
The second goal that Pirates got, because he played Muremi, and then Muremi put that cross, and Umabaso scored.
Indeed, and you saw that Mufokeng, of course, Apollo scored.
Yes.
We saw that, of course, Mufokeng moving into the 10 position, making a bit of a difference eventually, and Dlamini coming on to the 10 position. But we speak of Diodi and the changes that they make. We saw the impact players that were expected to have an effect on the game here today being subbed out. The likes of a Muhapi, one would even have expected them to come out so early. What do you make of Lama changes?
Yeah, it was tactical adjustment, because he decided to let me move from E4-2-3-1 and maybe go to a flat 4-4-2, so that maybe Sizamama strikers I2, Uditipi Marabe, no Shomelang Libina, just to maybe get one goal against Orlando Pirates. So, coach was flexible, coach was trying other options, but unfortunately, with the quality of Pirates, TLB Mbogazi, partnering Noli Bonesiema, you could see that they were just stubborn and solid and making sure that we will protect who goalkeeper way to concede today.
And it was those players that we saw making an impact for Diodi that we also saw coming out. I mean, you look at a Class and the fact that he was so good for Diodi in the first half. We look at a Mohapi, we spoke about him and the impact that he was also having. We saw a Tejane coming off as well. Not so much impact from him in this encounter.
Yeah, not so much impact to Tejane, because we spoke about his transition play, his confidence, but it happens in football. Tejane is always the best attacking outlet for the Odi in wide areas, but it happens in football. Jabu maybe will confirm Namuguti. Sometimes you won't have your best game.
Sometimes it's your day, sometimes it's not your day.
Yeah, sometimes. But I mean,
every time. I love that. Jabu, sikhulumile ngama-substitutions kamqeqeshi we-Orlando Pirates, but something else that he didn't do is take off a Tejo Fatso Mabasa, because a lot of people were expecting for Tejo to be subbed out because not quite having the first half we expected. But this man came out different in the second half because of those substitutions, allowing him to be closer to the midfield. Let's talk to how Orlando Pirates finds that opening goal.
Yeah, I think the Pirates coach and the technical team, they got it right, because he was aware Ugutumabaso was a bit isolated, and he needed someone also Basetus. And I look at this beautiful cross from Muhoto, and Umabaso was at the right first pole, and we know he's a clinical finisher. So taking Umfukeng to number 1 to replace Ubule, it makes things easier for Umabaso, and that's why the coach believed in him. Look at this beautiful goal. Obviously, Hoto, the quality was great. Bad defending there from Diodi. But it's a learning curve for them. But for Orlando Pirates, they have to show them, Uguti, we are a big team. We finished last season in the semi-finals of this competition.
And it's interesting, the irony in that, because Diodi came into Mdlawan Namhlanje saying they want to master those set pieces, and instead it's Orlando Pirates that open from a set piece and a corner kick.
Yeah, I thought they defended short corner Pirates very well first half. However, Orlando Pirates is unpredictable when they attack a dead ball situation. So sometimes they go short, sometimes they go direct to near post, sometimes they go in the far post. So it was an element of surprise where Nauho hit it quickly in the near post, and then they lost the concentration. They were not blocking player. That is the first player that will deal with the ball before Liagu goalkeeper or before Liagu small box. And now, hence Umabasa, njengoba Jabu asho, his anticipation was so clever to attack the near post and then just touch the ball and score a brilliant goal.
A brilliant goal there from Tsegafatso Mabasa. He was not done just yet. Utle abuyana kambe akunlaba goal rabumbiri namunta laba kufamba la Free State Stadium nina brace. We see the second goal here coming in from the Buccaneers. Once again, it's that great play. Relebohile Mofokeng, you said all he needs is a great moment to give that kind of assist.
Fantastic goal, great assist, and great team goal. Mangwayibona iqale from Siema or Libita, if I'm not mistaken, and then he played in the middle to Mfukeng. Look at the timing of Umabaso, the run. And the Magala law, there's no way which will miss, but it was a great goal as a Muisai confidence because he was so frustrated first half and great team goal overall.
And this is what you need from a striker. You need them to just be at the right place at the right time and just finish.
Absolutely. It's a collective goal because Relebohile Mofokeng's positioning was very, very high up as a striker. So he attracts the attention of center backs. So that means he understood the role of playing as a false striker or as an attacking midfielder. So now hence Umabasa was able to find his space, Jabu. You know, then he attracted attention and then Umabasa was freed and then hence Umabasa got a goal. And then it's not an easy pass to play because now you have to make sure that the ball is played in time to avoid an offside situation. So he was very clever, Mfukeng, to make sure that he make that assist.
Joined by the coach. Coach, our conversation was clear. You did tell me that it was going to be tough. Let's start with that first half. It looked like you could take control of the game at some point, but the second half they were just too good to be contained.
Not that they were too good, that good. I think we made some defensive areas. Some of our players did not shift well. If you play a team of high quality like Pirate, they do a lot of rotations. So they made it difficult for my team. So to move them out of position, that was the only different second half they did. And then they managed to score the first one and then the second one. And then after the second one, wanted to attack. And then they caught us on the counter, so it was 3. So but I'm happy with the performance.
So, Coach, what I'm hearing you saying from a coaching point of view, obviously you say it's not that they were too good, but maybe some lapses of concentration, if you can explain it further.
Yeah, not lapse. It's just position. We were not good positional defensively because of the rotation. So I think they did a lot of rotation. And then it confused my players. It moved them around in the wrong position when we were out of position. That was the biggest problem that we've encountered. And then they scored that first one. And then I see they scored another second one. And then we tried the third one. The third one we wanted to attack, and then they caught us on transition. So that was.
How much then does it have to do with obviously the changes from the bench? Because both sets of teams made changes from the bench, but they seem to be more effective.
Yeah, even us, we tried to put energy because some of our boys were tired. We put Libina as our center forward. We put Louis as 2 strikers so that they give us something. So, but the good thing is that Pirate they have a good rest defense. When they lose the ball, they'll counter press. So it looks like the substitution were not effective, but they were. The only thing the Pirate was so good when they lost the ball. They stopped us, so we could not make or play forward passing for counter attack. Yeah.
Let's switch a little bit now to the second leg. On paper, it looks like it's too far in terms of overturning that scoreline. But do you think you could have an ace up your sleeve in Orlando?
No, I think this first half is 3-0. It's a second half now. We'll try to look at the video and do our analysis and see how far we can, what things we can improve on for second leg. Yeah, we're still gonna fight. The game is not yet over. It's 90 minutes to go. Yeah.
Coach Maseko, we'll see you next week. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
That's the OD coach saying that it's not over yet, despite that 3-0 scoreline. Let's now speak to Coach Wadu, the man who perhaps would have a different opinion about maybe having 1 foot. And I say that carefully because the game of football can change in an instant. 1 foot in the next round, because this was a convincing win. Your perspective, Coach?
No, I don't think like that. As long we didn't finish the second leg, second half, we did a good game. We respect the plan. We have respected the plan. I congratulate the boys. Now it's only the first half. I cannot be 100% satisfied because I still think that we could have scored more goals, especially the first half that we didn't find to manage. We didn't find the space to go forward and to find the space behind this back four, and it's because of the tactic of the opponent that they played well as well. But I'm happy for the second half because we make some changes. We bring some speed on the side, but as well we try to stretch them on the wide in order to find some space.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up that point, because we were sitting with some of our analysts on the bench and looking that it took Tejo about 30 minutes before he could actually get a touch to the ball. But this is the man who goes on to score 2 goals. It must have been some tactical switches in the second half.
Yeah, indeed. We thought that in the first half our midfielders were a little bit far from Mabasa, and I told you that it's a guy that needs to have some players close to him to serve him, and we decided to bring somebody close to him and able to play forward, to give him some pass forward, and the same again against Stellenbosch. We bring Moremi to serve him in the box. But now it's good for the guys. I'm happy. We are going to rest because we have a very important game in the league.
And then just finally, Coach, the second leg, I suppose also still cautious, wanting to get the job done at home in front of your own fans. Although it did maybe feel like it wasn't too much of an away game, given your supporters also showed up here in Bloemfontein.
No, I'd like to thank our fans. You know, everywhere where we go, we have fantastic fans. They were the 12 men today again. They support us. We need them. The boys need definitely our fans, and we expect them in the second leg to pack the stadium and to help us to win definitely that game.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck next week.
Thank you very much.
That's Coach Absalam Wadu. We'll take a break and